Okay, guys, here we go. You know what? I'm just gonna squeeze this live in here. It's not gonna be very long, okay? Um, so again, thank you guys for all your love and support. If you haven't hit that like button for Jack and Lily, please do. Thank you guys so much. Again, it's not gonna be a long live, guys. I gotta work tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I've been working on a video for a song, and I wanted you guys to see it as I did it. And I thought, well, I can do my get that live in that I said I might do later on and stuff like that. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming very much. By the way, I had my Kit Kat ice cream. YOLO. So, anyways, first and foremost, Jack and Lily, that's what it's about. That's the whole purpose of for the murdered and the missing is following case and bringing out information and talking about the cases and bringing awareness to the families that are looking for the awareness of missing children, of course, or family members that have disappeared and have no idea what happened to them. In this case, we're talking about Jack and Lily. So, of course, this is the website, you guys, for the fundraiser for Alana King and Bree and Belinda that's fully supporting this. It's the only legit one out there, so don't pray or follow anyone else when it comes to the donations for Jack and Lily. Again, the fundraiser goes towards the bracelets. You can purchase those, decals, keychains, and stuff like that. And as well as you can donate to the GoFundMe. And of course, email Alana King _ 8229 at hotmail.com with your address and the information. Okay, so in saying that, so want to make sure that we keep putting this site out there again. The proceeds, depending on how this case turns out, of course, will go either to Buddy Benches, which are absolutely gorgeous, or if Jack and Lily are still out there, of course, then the rest of the funds after the awareness, and if they're found, of course, will go to the children. Either way, it's a very sad case. And so I always like doing special things. Now, somebody had sent me this particular song about a week ago, and then I don't know what we were thinking because we thought it was a song that somebody was doing, but it really wasn't for Jack and Lily, but they were using the title. And then I seen Alana send it to me again, and I'm just like, yeah, I already seen that one, thanks. And so I went back to listen to it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, it is about Jack and Lily. It's a beautiful song. It's by Russell McDonald. So I want to say it is a very beautiful song. And I wanted to put a little video of awareness for Jack and for Lily out there again. I'll put it out as a single by itself. Hi, you guys. Thank you guys for joining. Again, don't forget to hear or hit that like and share button for Jack and Lily. So again, fundraiser, please support if you can. If not, please, regardless, whatever you can do, hit the like, hit the share, keep the awareness out there. Please do this, of course, for Jack and Lily and all the people of the family that are missing Jack and Lily and just want answers. I heard earlier, it's very beautiful. Yes, and then I went over to Belinda's her Facebook, and then I saw the song there as well, and I thought, you know what? I want to put a little something to this for you guys. Again, you got your bracelets. Good. And anyway, so it's just another awareness video. And like I said, I'll put it out separately as well. Hopefully you guys will support that, even if you see it in the live today. That when I do put it out, I'll put it out tomorrow at a more reasonable hour. There's Belinda, Jack and Lily. So I'm going to play it now. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take the media or the banners off the screen. So I just want you guys to see it for what it is without the banners on there right now. And I'll bring it up. I'll take this off the screen, and then I will hit and play. Whoops. Okay. All right. I didn't mean to do that. Let me bring up the video. Present video file. Let's see here. Give me a second. Okay. And then I'll mute myself. Okay. This is Sunny from It's a Crime and Shame. And someone had sent me this beautiful song called Come Home, Jack and Lily. And I wanted to do Belinda, and I wanted to do Alana King, and all you guys out there, this beautiful little video to attach to it. Thank you so much for the person who wrote the poem. Thank you for fighting for Jack and Lily's army. Please hit the like and the share. Thank you so much.
quiet dawn of a May morning, two little hearts went out to play. Lily's laughter, Jack's small footsteps vanished with the breaking day. Come home, Jack and Lily, we're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Through forest paths and endless trees, searchers called your names aloud. Hope flickered in the morning breeze as prayers rose up to the clouds. Jack and Lily, we're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Sunsets over Pictou County, stars shine with gentle grace. The community holds a vigil, longing for your embrace. Come home, Jack and Lily, we're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near.
You guys, I did tell Belinda. She's the one that sent me the videos of Jack and Lily. Don't even get me waterworks going, guys. She knows I made this video and I told her to bring tissues. Anyways, I wanted to make this beautiful video because I wanted to have an impact for anyone that sees it. That these people, oh yeah. I think I'm the one that needed the tissue too. It's very surreal when you know that these are truly two missing children. I know it's hard on us all, especially, of course, Belinda and the family that are missing Lily and Jack and just want answers, and you guys. Anyways, I thought this was a very beautiful song. And I just wanted to bring more awareness to Lily and Jack to have an impact for sure. Shit. I'll put this video out tomorrow by itself. And again, if you guys could just love it and support it and share it just to bring more awareness. Anyone who has answers to speak up. Yeah, group hug. Group hug. Thank you. On there. So I want to say again to Belinda, you are truly a pillar of strength, and I admire you so much. In the 2 months, just over 2 months, that these children have been missing and no answers, I'm sure you're exhausted and I'm sure you're tired, but you're also a warrior. So just follow your heart. If you need to take a break from it all, absolutely. We'll keep doing lives for Lily and Jack and keep spreading the awareness. There's a fundraiser going on. There's a vigil coming up. Anything that you guys can do to help these, well, I was going to say help these families, because there's obviously 3 involved in all of this, but Belinda's been the true warrior speaking out. The only one, you know. I just want people to be impacted. And that these children are somebody's grandbabies, babies, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, in this community. For everyone that's in Nova Scotia that's impacted by this case and across the internet, thank you guys all, honestly, for bringing awareness to Jack and Lily. If you know something, say something. I hope so. That's the intent. Thank you, Belinda, for letting me use those videos of Jack and Lily. Children are so precious. Was it you that sent me? Yeah, was it you that sent me that song last week? Yeah. I remember us thinking that, oh, I don't think it's actually for Lily and Jack, that somebody was just using it. And then Alana sent it to me today. And then I said to her, no, I remember that song. I kind of listened to it. And maybe it was just because at first, it was hard to understand the words a little bit. And I was like, I don't know, this doesn't really sound. But then I listened to it again. And wow, it truly was for Lily and Jack. And it's such a beautiful song. Again, there's the poem at the start, I wanted to leave it in long enough so that people could read it before I went on to the pictures. You know, I know that I have my creativity that I like to use, and others have their own as well. So I want to say from this channel to everyone that does, write a poem, write a song, do something special for Jack and Lily and stuff like that. Not everyone has the creative side for sure, but just hitting that like button and that share button for Jack and Lily means so much. Every little, tap on that like button and the share just means so much for spreading the awareness. And again, I'll put this video out tomorrow separately, and hopefully you guys, no matter what, you guys can still go give it a like, give it a share. You don't know who's going to see it. And again, I just want to keep the awareness out there. You guys know that regardless. When I'm doing a live, I know my focus. My focus is Jack and Lily, right? Never think differently. Even if we're talking about, the case and stuff like that and the different aspects of it, the focus is 1,000% Jack and Lily. So whether it's somebody that comes across, the live and sees it, has knowledge of what happened to Jack and Lily, maybe somebody's guilt will kick in, and somebody will speak up and say something. You know, longer I do lives, more people that see it and stuff like that. So it's one of those things that, the focus is on Jack and Lily always, always will be about the victims. And in this case, it's Jack and Lily, right? And again, thank you to all you guys, Belinda, Alana, Bree, Christine, who built the website, all you guys that are emailing me with stuff, everyone that's searching for answers, whether it's a creator, whether it's, somebody in the Facebook groups of you guys, have your conversations in there and stuff like that. It's all because you passionately care about this case. That's very heartwarming, I'm sure, to the family members, regardless, and hopefully little things like this will, just bring awareness and make someone talk. Who knows, right? The internet is a wonderful source when used properly. Um, and so that's all we can hope for is just answers for Jack and Lily. And it's hard. It's hard looking at little videos, of these children, and knowing that they're missing. Belinda lives this every single day of her grandbabies, her son, Cody, the father. I'm sure he would love to see his children again, even if I'm sure, again, whatever if anyone thinks about Cody, I'm sure that this probably has impacted his life severely, right? No one expects their own children just to vanish and no answers. So always please have a heart. I have not cried this entire case until this video, right? On there. It's the reality of it, It's the reality of knowing that Belinda is in here watching and that this is truly impacting her life, her waking moments, when she goes to bed, when she wakes up, her focus is about Jack and Lily, you know. She has a beautiful backyard sanctuary where she has all these animals that come in her backyard and stuff like that. But, you know, like I said, I'm just a person, Western Canada, covering a case. But each case I follow or take on, it's because it impacts my heart. And I like to stay focused on a case because that's just who I am. I'm not about doing multiple cases and stuff like that. I just like to stay focused on a case when it's happening until answers can come. And hopefully answers will come in the near future. You've grounded us to focus. This is what I'm talking about, okay, guys? Sometimes when I get upset and alive at somebody because they're being rude or disrespectful and stuff like that, we can definitely joke around in certain things, but we'll never, ever, joke about a case. But I get upset with people sometimes because as humans, we're supposed to be kind and caring. We're not supposed to tear each other down. We're supposed to build each other up. That's why I love my husband so much. I thought that I was a really good person. And then I met my husband and he made me want to be an even better person. Because no matter what I said about myself, even though if I was joking, he would always say, don't talk about yourself like that. And I would just be joking. But it's somebody that builds me up instead of tearing me down. Right. And that's why I'm so adamant that this chat room, in a sense, or the people that are in the chat part of it, just keep it respectful, keep it loving and caring, have your thoughts, but your thoughts don't have to come out as ignorant and rude, right? So that's why I take that very heavily when people do come in, and that's why I don't have patience for that, because it's not the way we're supposed to be. This is the murdered and the missing, right? This is a very touchy subject by itself. We don't need the negativity. We don't need people trying to trash on the fundraiser that's trying to do stuff from the goodness of their hearts, right? And this is a focus of 2 children that are missing. Little squabbles between people, right? They don't need to happen. They don't need to happen because it's about Jack and Lily. And it's just about our own personal thoughts about how we feel about the case. And we're not here to try to change somebody else's thoughts. We're just there to talk about it and bring awareness and stuff like that. So that's why in this, like I said, in this channel is all about the victims, first and foremost. So thank you again, Belinda, for being such a role model. You know, she's not looking for kudos about her awesomeness for keeping awareness of Jack and Lily. She's doing it all for Jack and Lily. There's a difference. People just need to talk. They need to tell the truth. That's what they need to do. You know? Yes, they are Cody's kids too. Daniel and Malaya were in charge of Jack and Lily. It was their job to protect them. The responsibility lays on them. Both of them. But again, that judgment will come when it's time. Do you want, I don't know, do you want me to play it one more time? Somebody's asking. I'll play it one more time because there's more people. I'll do that. If you guys want. I'll do it one more time. Okay. Don't forget, though, you have to hit the like and the share for Jack and Lily. All right? Thank you. Here, I'll even turn off the banner on this. No, actually, no, I'll leave the banner on because we want that part of it. From It's a Crime and Shame. And someone had sent me this beautiful song called Come Home, Jack and Lily. And I wanted to do Belinda and I wanted to do Alana King and all you guys out there. This beautiful little video to attach to it. Thank you so much for the person who wrote the poem. Thank you for fighting for Jack and Lily's army. Please hit the like and the share. Thank you so much.
In the quiet dawn of a May morning, 2 little hearts went out to play. Lily's laughter, Jack's small footsteps vanished with the breaking day. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Through forest paths and endless trees, searchers called your names aloud. Hope flickered in the morning breeze. to the clouds. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. The sun sets over Pictou County. Stars shine with gentle grace. The community holds a vigil, longing for your embrace. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near.
Oh, that's so sweet at the end of it. All right. Thank you guys again. Okay. On there. You guys got all your tears out yet? It is a beautiful song, isn't it? It's a very beautiful song. I actually tested it first to make sure it wasn't copyrighted. So I'd actually had it up for a couple hours on my studio or in my video unlisted, just to make sure it wasn't a copyright song. And it wasn't. So then I was like, YOLO, I'm going to use this song and that. So again, I'll put this song out tomorrow by itself. And again, if you guys could support that, that would be amazing. Awareness for Jack and Lily. The name of the person is Russell McDonald. And all you have to do is Google it yourself if you'd like to. But anyways, yes. You guys, it's always about bringing awareness to Jack and Lily, right? That's the goal. We want who's ever responsible to Jack and Lily, to wherever they are, to come forward, to bring answers. So if you know something, say something. But that's the focus regardless. It's always going to be about Jack and Lily and any case that we follow about the missing and the murdered. Okay, guys? So thank you, guys. It is sad. It is. Because this is reality that Belinda has to wake up and go to sleep every day. The fundraiser, you guys, is a special place in her heart as well. That Alana King and Bree and others that are supporting and helping out with that. There'll be a vigil again on August 2nd. And I know that there's a lot of things coming for that. So you guys, for again, who's ever in that area or lives around it, again, please go to the vigil. And again, you can support it by going to the website that keeps popping up here for Jack and Lily. Support the fundraiser, get your bracelets, get your decals, get your keychains. Again, regardless, you guys are following the case. For me, these will be beautiful memories that I'll have. So I'm looking forward to receiving my bracelets that I'll get first, obviously. And beautiful song. So if anyone knows Russell McDonald from Nova Scotia there, somebody knows her out there, you just tell her what a beautiful song it is. And I just wanted to put a nice little touch on it for Jack and Lily. And I want people to feel this video from their hearts and be sad that these two children are missing and that they need answers. It's been over 2 months. 2 months. So, yeah. So with that being said, you guys, again, I was only popping on the live because I just kind of wanted to share the video with you guys first, and then I'll put it out by itself on there and just say my last few words. And, another live means more attention, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Now, just so you know, you guys, tomorrow I'll probably do a live after work, but I do work from 8 till 4 tomorrow. Monday and Tuesday, I cannot do a live. I'm working 12 to 8, both of those days. And then Wednesday, I think I work till 4 or 4:30. Anyways, then Thursday and Friday. Now, Friday though, that's my 10-year anniversary with my husband. So that day I can't do a live for sure on there, but I hopefully, I was talking to Bev. I want to do another live with Bev. She wants to talk about things as well. That is the child protection lawyer from the United Kingdom over there. Don't forget that Miss Dog Lover, she also was talking about the incident, we'll call it, that happened 20 years ago for Monday in London. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, she asked if I could bring awareness to that as well. She was there during that time of that horrific event. So that's Monday. That will be 20 years for that. I know how YouTube is, so I got to tread on that very lightly. And other than that, again, so I want to do a live with Dolly if he's up for it, Dolly Vision. I usually don't overly do too much with content creators, but there's some really good ones. I did a live with Nova earlier on there. We did Astro with Lauren. She popped on the other night as well. And who else? We did Alexa, criminal profiler Alexa, really good friend of the channel and stuff. So it's really nice when you get to come across really good people and people that are supporting this channel. Now, don't forget about that channel, Hidden in the Fog. Okay, so Hidden in the Fog, you guys, go over there. I'm going to put the link there because this isn't about being selfish and trying to have content just for this channel. Content comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but still bring awareness to it. Okay. So that's the channel, right? Now, so in listening to this channel right here, guys, right? Go sub over to this channel. She is the TikTok lady. Okay. I listened to her voice today, and that's what Nova was trying to tell me earlier, and it wasn't in my head. And then I went and listened to her voice. So the same lady that is doing the TikTok lives with Logan, Cheryl, and Haley. That's her channel called Hidden in the Fog. Okay. So obviously she started a YouTube channel, and why not? Right? Because everyone's grabbing it and bringing it over to YouTube. So she wants to bring awareness to her channel and doing a good job. So this is her channel called Hidden in the Fog. So just know that. So go over and sub and subscribe. So that way when a notification comes up, you guys will get the notification whenever more family members will speak out and stuff like that. It's important. We love this. We do. We want more people. We want people to get a little, like the family members, to start stirring the pot and stuff like that. That's what this is doing. So, Belinda has been so gracious to constantly have given, content and screenshots and stuff like that from her own phone, and just to provide awareness for Jack and Lily. This isn't about Daniel and Malaya and that, essentially, right? I mean, again, if they had anything to do with the children's disappearance, then their day will come, right? Because we're not their judge and jury. But at the end of the day, they were responsible for Jack and Lily, and Jack and Lily disappeared while in their care, regardless, right? But thank you to Belinda, who's just been a warrior through this all, because all she wants is answers. There's family members that are probably watching this channel, and they just want answers as well. So prayers to you and a big hole in your heart as you just wait and try to figure out what happened to Jack and Lily. I'm so sorry that your hearts are impacted by this. It's not fair. It's not fair. But Daniel and Malaya, they need to start telling the truth. That's what they need to do. People need to start telling the truth. So the more people, the more family members that are upset because somebody said that somebody said, and then they get pissed off because they want to justify it. Beautiful. Thank you. Keep giving us more information, please. Because there's family members out there that care and want the answers too. Absolutely. And Dolly, yes, I enjoy Dolly. Me and him have a very similar sense of humor, personalities in a lot of ways, to be honest with you. Yeah, big hugs to Belinda. So let me just see what you guys are, I appreciate your guys' thoughts and stuff like that. Sending her email, Lulu. I think there is a Facebook group too. Oh, Sunny has her email, Lulu. I'm not sure what was said actually. I'll look in a minute. We can never let the case go to the dark, to silent. Nope. It must stay loud and upfront. And even after the truth is out, forever stay loud for Jack and Lily. I cannot never help but think of the Delphi case when it comes to this. The grandmother, every day she made a post, and it always said, "Today is the day." For almost 7 years, every day she had to wait for answers to what happened to Abby and Libby, who were murdered. And Libby was her granddaughter and lived with her grandmother. And another strong presence, a warrior, never gave up. She battled cancer and everything during her fight for justice, for Abby and Libby and stuff like that. And this is one of those things is that, every just for Belinda, especially, follow your heart, do what you need to do. If you need to rest and take a moment, focus on the fundraiser, focus on yourself again, but we will keep fighting for Jack and Lily regardless, knowing that you're there as well. But obviously, right, it can take its toll. It can take its toll on anybody. We're not living this nightmare. We want the kids to, of course, be with us still and have answers. But we don't go to sleep every night, with this big hole in our heart. We do, but we don't, right? I mean, I think about Jack and Lily. From when I go to sleep, when I wake up, I'm thinking about Jack and Lily. I'm trying to think of, okay, let me make sense of these conversations, whether it's the pink blanket, whether it doesn't matter if it's coming out of the mouths. I'm trying to retrace in my head, okay, where's the truth amongst these lies, right? Now, at the end of the day, that's just me trying to understand what happened to Jack and Lily and where the truth lies. Because the way we have it right now is that either they're not alive, right, obviously, or that they are alive, right? So it's trying to think of who's lying the most here, what makes sense the most here, right? So regardless, I go to bed thinking about this stuff. You guys do too. I see a lot of you guys, on my iPad that are sitting there, that chat group that you guys, that one chat group that's going on. I mean, that thing's freaking alive, popping almost 24/7, of people talking about Jack and Lily and Jack and Lily. So I know how much it means to you guys out there as well. And I know that Belinda appreciates all the love and support and the fight. And again, this is, Jack and Lily's army. That's what we are. We're going to stay strong. We're going to keep focused. We know what the mission is for this, and it's to find answers for Jack and Lily so that Belinda can have some answers. Other family members can have some answers, So thank you guys. It's because of you guys and all. It's everyone, right? It's everyone working to help out. So that's what I appreciate. I'm very much of a team player. I believe in not being selfish and, like I said, trying to hide content or cover, for myself and stuff like that. Hidden in the fog. Okay. That's the lady from TikTok. So just like me, I got a notification and I was like, oh, wow, dang. I thought it was just her playing one from from Cheryl there. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Haley's talking. Great. Good. Thank you. Darren talking. Doesn't matter. Janie's supposed to do an interview on Tuesday or Wednesday. Darren already did his interview and stuff like that. Like I said, keep talking. Keep talking, people. Find answers for Jack and Lily. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Well, there is lies going on. It's an absolute fact that there's lies going on. Whenever there's lies, it means that they're hiding the truth. But why would you ever hide the truth about two children? Why would you put the importance of lying for Malaya, if that's at all true, in front of children? Why would you do that? That's selfish, right? So we're not here to be selfish. We're here to be unselfish and to uncover the truth, And again, if it's because this live, someone sees it, and feels, bad inside because they have guilty knowledge to come forward. That's what we want. Because why would anyone hide any information with regards to Jack and Lily, right? Children are precious. There's no excuse for the lies. There is no excuse, right? Jack and Lily will be found. Well, let's pray. Absolutely. I wish that. I'm sure everybody wishes that, right? Haley and Cheryl are the only ring in trying to make Malaya look like poor innocent mom with a halo when she's not. Plus, she's saying she admits to have been in it for, well, exactly. Again, I know we're not somebody's judge and jury on this one. We all have our opinions on this, would have, could have, should have, and stuff like that, what they should have done, could have done, well, what they really should have done on this. But at the end of the day, again, if they had any involvement, the RCMP will deal with any issues that they have, and I am sure that they are very much aware about certain things. I'll just say that. I think anyone that's in true crime and follows cases all the time, they do things for certain reasons. They give you information for certain reasons. They put out rewards for certain reasons. They do it whenever they need the help. That's when they'll give us information. They won't do it because, oh, I'm just going to calm down the internet over there. It's not going to happen. Yes, I seen that comment actually. Let's just take a quick boo at that. I was watching a little bit of, I don't know how to say her name. Shainatra Speaks on there. She does a really good job as well on taking stuff and putting it together. She's really good at that. So I kind of grabbed that. I know he said it, but I just happened to be watching her thing, right? And again, right? Her family thought it was a fun family reunion, no tears. Truth bombs or lie bombs? We don't know. He's lied already. What do we believe? Right? So that's for us to try to decide. With all that information that's out there now, thanks to Belinda, Darren, Daniel, Logan, Cheryl, Haley, right? Thanks to all those people, we're getting some insight into that day. So, so like I said, I'm just sitting back, watching. I honestly, when it comes to when it comes to Daniel and Malaya, I'm honestly okay. So at the part of this case, you're trying to understand, like, okay, well, this person's doing this. Her interview's weird, but Daniel's doing this. I literally, at this point, all I'm doing is Malaya, Daniel, don't really care. I'm looking at the information. Wherever the wrong has been wronged with Jack and Lily, whatever happened to Jack and Lily, again, it's kind of one of those things. I'm not saying, oh, Malaya's good and Daniel's bad, or Daniel's bad and Malaya's good. All I'm doing is looking at what is there, what's in front of me. Obviously, if there's lies and deception and there's receipts to back that up, that's simply called a lie, right? So whatever happens with charges or whatever, all I want is the answers for Jack and Lily, right? So it's not about, for me, sides at all. It's just simply about, here's information. Okay. Or if that information doesn't match what's been said by that same person, then it's a lie. It's clearly a lie, right? It's because it's out of his mouth, him talking on 2 interviews and talking about the 911 call. That is a lie. So why are you lying? You're sitting there saying you're covering it up for Malaya, but this is about Jack and Lily, and you're lying in the midst of all this. Okay, so how are we supposed to believe anything you said? I played the clip earlier when he's talking about that this was taken from the house and this was taken from the house, and if they're found with Jack and Lily and stuff like that. Okay, anyone who hears that, huge, bigger than the Canadian flag that's behind me here, huge red flag. Again, if you have truth to say, then you know what? Then go on the news and you tell them the truth. You go tell them that you're sorry that you lied amongst the kids missing. But this is why I did it. But no, right? Someone's ego is not usually going to allow them to do that. That's how I see it personally. When people want to talk, in a sense, and they want to talk behind the scenes, that is cowardly to me. These are two children that they were in charge of, and nobody's speaking up besides Belinda. How is that right? And Darren, I'll say Darren as well, but Belinda is purely the person that is the paternal grandmother of these children. How is that right? That the main person here from the get-go has been Belinda. Everyone else is radio silent for the most part. They're all coming out of the woodwork. What? 2 months later? Okay, I'll take what I can get from information from them. Absolutely. But why is that? How wrong is that? This reminds me of the Barry Morphew case, literally, when his own family wouldn't say anything about Suzanne Morphew missing. The only people that would speak up was Suzanne Morphew's side. Never heard nothing. You never saw the daughters put up pictures of their own mother and stuff like that. That's what this all reminds me of internally. How beautiful. How could anyone who is the cause of Lily and Jack be gone, even if it's just hidden, be able to eat or sleep? That's exactly it. Exactly it. How does somebody's heart live with themselves every single day if they have answers or have knowledge of what happened to Lily and Jack? From the beginning, it's like these kids are all our... Exactly. Right? It's the cases that I follow, they mean everything to me. The Delphi murders, right? Sebastian Rogers' case, Jack and Lily's case. These cases mean a lot to me. Nicola Bully, Jay Slater. Like I said, when I take on something, I take it on, and it's just the fact that I had created a channel, and I'm one of those ones that, like I said, I didn't plan on being in the true crime space, but here I am, and there's a big piece of me that's proud to be here. The part that I don't like about being here, obviously, is that a grandmother right now is suffering because of 2 grandchildren that are missing. Like, how much torture can somebody's heart take knowing that? No answers, right? It's one thing to have answers during a horrific event, but in this case, there's no answers, but there's lying. And that lying tells you that they're hiding the truth. The truth is there, and it will come out. I absolutely believe the truth is going to come out. Belinda, stay strong. Darren, keep the pressure on. Keep talking, you guys. Keep talking. Bring out more information. Keep telling us about that day. Why don't you tell us actually about the day before as well, which I already have told you guys a little bit about that day, apparently, supposedly, allegedly, okay? But make it make sense, right, when there's lies going on. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not sure what his comment meant by that. Like, I know people said it was like a threat type of thing. And usually when you say something like that, if I was in front of someone, I'd be like, go on, keep talking, I dare ya. Come on, say one more thing, I'm basically going to punch you in the mouth type of idea, right? But on the internet, it's like, well, what kind of threat is that? Like, keep on talking, Haley, I dare you. I have to ask him what he meant by that, because I can't understand. So the only thing I can think of in my head is why he would say that is because obviously he's on the Daniel and Janie side once he sorted his own thoughts out. Now, I'm not here to say that what Darren believes or whatever is gospel. I'm not here to say that. I'm not here for Darren or everybody else. Remember, it's Jack and Lily first. That's who I'm here for. That's who I'll be a voice for. So what he's referring to here, I don't know if it's because it's someone sticking up for Malaya and he feels like that this person is lying about Daniel being on drugs and stuff like that. Obviously it's one of those off the tongue comments, but I'm not really sure exactly what he was meaning by that. That's kind of how I took it, but you really shouldn't put out any threats to anyone that comes off as a threat regardless. Good night, Schooner. Good night, you guys. Okay. I'm looking at the time. I'm going to give myself 2 more minutes till it hits 10 o'clock. Then I'm going to go plot my butt. I'm going to look at my messages. I know I have emails. Don't get me wrong. I have answered some emails today, and some other ones would take longer to answer. In the meantime, I made dinner. I always make hamburger. I made hamburgers today, by the way. But my husband's like, why didn't you use the patties that are already pre-built? And I'm like, oh, because usually I make hamburgers, from scratch, right? But we did have hamburgers that were in, the steak hamburgers or whatever they are in the box. Anyways, then I had my ice cream, my Kit Kat ice cream, and then Alana had sent me that message with that video, and I know Sunshine had sent it to me over a week ago, but we thought it was, we didn't really actually think it applied at the time when we were listening to it. But anyways, and so then I just, brushed it off. And then when I seen it again, I was like, Alana, that's that song that I don't think it's really about Lily and Jack. And then dumb me was like listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, it's all about Lily and Jack, actually. So then that prompted me to want to make a video. Now, a 3-minute video like this one takes hours to do, by adding the transitions, putting the pictures and getting all that stuff, And so I just wanted just to add a little touch to that song, for Jack and Lily, and for awareness, and because it's impactful is what it is. That's what we want. We want people to be impacted by Jack and Lily, and be their army for them, right? Because obviously they don't have a voice, so we need to be the voice for Lily and Jack, right? And just like Belinda has been the voice for Lily and Jack, and other people coming out. Well, I wouldn't say there's so much for Lily and Jack, some of them, because they're just talking and they're kind of like, well, I just want to clear up this part. No. I want to hear you say, I want to hear them all say, we just want answers for Lily and Jack. That's what I want to hear being said. Could have the kids over Janie's bus sedated for the night so they could party at the trailer and accidentally OD'd? Why didn't the cops inside the bus or searched or woke up, got into rugs? Hi, Kaika. Could have had the kids. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things, honestly, I'm trying to think about with this Kaika, because obviously the neighbor, like Daniel totally deflected back on the neighbor, you guys, like I talked to you guys about earlier, right? So that this neighbor comes out and they talk about a party. They said that they've seen a bunch of vehicles, and this was around 2 p.m. Okay, that was, and they couldn't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but they called it a crack house, right? Now, one of the strangest things to me is when Daniel said that, yeah, know who that neighbor is, and they're just trying to take the heat off themselves. Wait, what did that even mean? So they're trying to take the heat off themselves because you think that they had something to do with Jack and Lily? You understand that comment has no place in the whole reasoning of Jack and Lily's disappearance for someone to literally deflect. Okay. If anyone has, honestly, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. If anyone has the biggest red flags that I'm seeing, it's on Daniel's side. Talking about sweaters, that if you found them with the kids, But again, the RCMP, they know all this stuff. Okay, they're not dumbasses. They got the numbers of who's lying and who's saying what and stuff like that. But these are things that I think about all the time, right? Because I mean, yes, we can. Oops, and I should do that. My bad. I'm just gonna add this back to stage on there. Jack and Lily. And so, like I said, for me, I like trying to put puzzles together. I like trying to understand who's lying, who's telling the truth, because all we have is time right now, right? Show Jack and Lily, keep awareness out there. Just got time. So during that time, we're going to talk about the case. We're going to talk about the inconsistencies, right? We're not going to accuse anybody because nobody has been accused or charged anything with this, but we can certainly talk about it. Yeah. Darren, I wrote. Darren wrote, I dare you. Yeah, Belinda, how did you take that when he said that? Like, like, I'm curious. I'm curious. Like, I just kind of can't help but think that he was saying that because it was Malaya's family. It's like he was talking about Daniel, and basically, it's almost like, yeah, keep talking, keep making up those lies. I dare you, keep talking about it. You know, and like you're gonna get in trouble or something. I don't know. Because when I seen that comment, I was just like, what does that even mean? You know, besides taking it as like, you know, trying to bash Haley for speaking out about Daniel. Hey, if the truth, my thing is this: they all have their say. Haley can say what he wants. Darren can say what he wants. Malaya can say what she wants. Um, Cheryl can say what she wants. Logan can say what she wants. And we'll just listen. That's what we'll do. We'll just listen. Janie can say what she wants. Daniel, we'll just listen. We'll just listen and observe. Absolutely. Um, you hush over there, Kaika. My husband hates it when I call shepherd's pie because he's from England. He said, no, you're not making shepherd's pie if there's beef in it, beef burger. That's called cottage pie. It has to have lamb to be called shepherd's pie because, obviously the shepherds and their sheep. By the way, when I was in school as a child, I was a good little shepherd. When we used to have those things, before they made everything ridiculously in schools and they took away all that stuff. But I was like, me and my twin were like little shepherds. My mom, she made the canes and, the rug on our head or the towel on our head with the silver band, like the Mary, Christ and Mary, whatever, the little cradle with Mary in it and stuff like that, or the baby Jesus and Mary the mother, that thing. What do you call that? What is done in the dark will come to light. Absolutely. Okay, guys, a couple more comments and then I'm going to head off. And I'm going to go chill and relax myself and work tomorrow at 8 o'clock. August, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but July 31st till August 17th, I'll be on holidays. So depending on what I'm doing, but all I know is I won't have to get up for work each day. That's for sure. So hopefully those days go by fast. Don't get me wrong, love my job, but it's holidays are nicer. Lee travel or family travels couldn't put this off. It's outside the box. I'd like to know how long the bus sat at the end of the driveway every day. Oh, right. You're talking about the bus on there. Yeah. Like, so I know that, like I said, that comment is like, it's a regular one that we would hear, especially when people are outside together, like, and there's about to be a fight or something like that because people are arguing and they're like, the expression is, keep on talking, I dare you. Right. So I'm wondering what that say threat was to Haley of what she was trying to say. Like, did it just flip off his tongue to say that? Like, what was it? Why? And so the only thing I can think of is because she was blasting Daniel about drugs. And the thing is that, um, so I believe Haley. Daniel's telling too many lies. Sorry, Daniel. And you keep hiding. You keep hiding like a coward. Sorry, Daniel, but it's true. You keep telling lies and you won't even come up or go on somebody's channel or go on your own channel and admit to your lies. You're playing with fire and you're going to get burnt. This is about Jack and Lily. That's what it's about. So for me, it's getting old to me watching Daniel go into the chats and not literally speak out for himself with his own mouth. right? I find that really pathetic, to be honest with you, because it's getting to the point of boring. Great. Keep repeating yourself how if you found two sweaters, keep repeating yourself and trying to justify yourself behind comments and stuff like that. It's getting ridiculous. So when people do that, right? And don't even use the excuse of you don't want to, go up on somebody's live. You can certainly make Pokemon videos, So when somebody's doing that, it tells me that they're lying still, that they don't want to be confronted. They can play games. He can play games with the news all he wants, but you're not going to play games with true crimes, the true crime creators and stuff like that. And that's what I think he's afraid of. I think he's afraid of that, to be honest with you, because he's acting like a coward. And I'm just calling a spade, Mr. Truthologist. This is how I see it. Because when people are trying to hide behind comments in Facebooks, they're trying to make us believe that what they're saying is true. But unfortunately, the reverse is happening because of this. And again, the more he speaks and the more he doesn't come up and speak for himself, the more people are going to just be like, you know what, Daniel, shut up with your lies already. And that's the point where I'm getting at right now. Is like, okay, dude, you don't want to come up. You obviously don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to, try to control the narrative through Facebook groups and talking on people's lives. Great. But you keep looking to me that, you're a coward. That's what you're being, is a coward to me. Only because it was in caps. Yeah, you're right. Right. Yeah, Darren, if you happen to watch this, Darren, don't be threatening people on there. So you need to take that back. Another great live. Thank you. Justice for Lily and Jack. Belinda, great. That's why I got confused. Yeah, I get it now that, when you guys are talking about it, because yeah, the I dare you was in caps as if he was putting out like a threat of some sort to her. But like, it was like, well, what you going to do? Like, what's your threat then? Like, what is the threat about actually? Why are you pissed off that that Haley's saying this? I think it's to do with the fact about the drug part. I could be wrong. Mind you, he does do caps a lot. That's true too. But that was specific. I mean, he lowered then uppered, on there. I know, I don't want to make excuses for the man, but he definitely is, a newbie, what we call a rook to the true crime world and stuff like that. People that walk into something that have no clue. And Darren, you can tell he just speaks off of his heart. He just, even if it's right or wrong, he just says things, right? And of course, it's like a sailor. It's like a sailor. I wonder if the last thing they had on this is what they had on the last time there. Oh yeah, right. What about those stupid games about the clothing, right? Okay, tell me a case. You guys tell me a case where they didn't want you to put out any information about what the kids were wearing. How ridiculous is that? Okay? How ridiculous is that? Shh. I can't tell you what they're wearing, right? But I just know that they're not the things that people think that they are. You tell me a case when children are missing that they're going to be like, shh, we don't want you to know what they're wearing just in case you see them. We don't want you to know. Really? Really? Did we fall off a turnip truck, people? Seriously, did an alien freaking ship come down and like melt our brains? And obviously, someone that says that, it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Oh, go on, sunshine. Let me I know I got the video here. I'm gonna put let's see here. 1 second. Let's do. I'm gonna put up this one. There we go. Now I can see your comments instead of it hiding behind the video there on there. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's see here. But you guys, isn't that ridiculous? You know, you're not going to, shh, can't tell you about the clothing, you know. So you mean, so Belinda, you know the messages you got from Malaya? Apparently that's a lie. According to Daniel, what you think they had on and what they did, that's not true. So I guess you better disregard those messages from Malaya. Well, I guess if somebody like, so that means then what are you trying to say, that Malaya's lying about those messages about what the kids had on? It's just ridiculous. Am I right or am I right, people? Like I said, I'm just looking for all the cracks. I'm just looking for all the holes of the inconsistencies. And I'm just trying to build up to who has the worst. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Daniel has the most red flags. I do. I believe Daniel has definitely the most red flags. If I was to pick about the red flags, I think Daniel does. To me. There's just too many lies. We can't really, it's really hard though, because he's putting himself out there, right? He's putting himself out there. So we're able to see more inconsistencies, whereas Malaya isn't, right? So it's really hard. I mean, imagine if both of them were out there putting out the inconsistencies together. You know, I think we'd have this case solved by now, to be honest with you. Well, you don't have to, but Daniel's the one that has them doing the most talking. He's the one with the most inconsistencies, to be honest with you, because he's the one that's talking the most. So his lies are all coming out of the woodwork now, pretty much, you know, and he keeps adding to them, you know. Again, I'm sorry, but when he's playing a game. Do you understand this, though? He is playing a game. And the game is now that he's trying to go into these Facebook groups and YouTube lives like this one yesterday. And he's trying to project his truth everywhere. You know, believe me, I'm not going to come up and talk about it, but believe me, you guys, trust me, this has nothing to do with him not coming up speaking to me. He has his own channel that he can create a video from and stuff like that. What I'm seeing is what I feel is the truth behind what's going on. He's trying to come into the Facebook groups a lot more and talking. And he won't go up on whether it's Susan's live with Logan, right? You know, Logan. So his own cousin goes up on that live with Susan and he won't talk at all. Why is that? You have to ask yourself, why is that? Belinda, good night. Good night, Belinda. Prayers to you, Jack and Lily. We're their army. We gotcha. We gotcha. Thank you, Belinda. Love you so much. Yeah. Okay, guys? Right. So, I mean, that's just how I'm seeing it, right? Myself. Okay? You can't take back your lies. You can't. The reason why I get angry, and I'm sure you guys do too, is because we're talking about 2 children missing. Why are you playing games? Why are you playing games? Yeah, why is he doing it though? Why is he doing it though? Like, is the my thing caper is that, you know, he's lying. He's lying. Simple as that. Okay? There's receipts, there's his own interviews to double talk himself of lying. We don't have that with Malaya. But the thing is, again, my point is still this. It's about Jack and Lily. 2 children are missing. And in the middle of 2 children missing, you're going to sit there and lie and play games. And you're not even going to entertain even Susan's channel to talk to. And you're going to come up here. You're going to stay in Facebook groups and in people's channels because you, who likes to be a truthologist, is not going to come up and be a voice for Lily and Jack. Don't even make excuses for this man, please, when it comes to Lily and Jack. I mean, do what you want, to be honest with you. You have your own right to your opinion. But I'm just saying, so for me, I'm not going to make excuses for this man at all. He's not doing what's right by Lily and Jack. And he's giving us this narrative of, I'm going to fight basically to my death. And I almost got impaled and this almost happened. And the whole world's not going to know about it. But I did all this for Lily and Jack. But you know what? I'm going to be a little freaking mouse in the little Facebook groups. And he has the option of speaking. He has the option of, clearing things up. And he doesn't. Okay. I don't make any excuses for bullshit. And what he's doing now to me is bullshit. It's about Lily and Jack. And I don't make any excuses for anybody when they mess with children, when they could have a voice, they could clear up the truth. They could do a lot of things and they're not. And don't get me wrong. The same goes for Malaya as well, right? These two people were looking after Lily and Jack, regardless. And one won't open up her mouth, and there's people talking for her because she's being a coward as well. Okay? Both of them are. Now, I like whether, regardless or not, whether this was from an abusive, controlling relationship, and that's why Malaya left, right? Bottom line is, you're not using your Facebook. If you think that your children were abducted, right? And I'm sorry, so you're going to arrest everything on the RCMP to do everything? Do you want them to post on your Facebook for you too, Malaya? Would you like that? Hey, sweetheart, would you like that? Because that's a joke, isn't it, guys? That's a joke. So both of them, but the lies and the inconsistencies to me are still coming from the Martell side over there. Clutching them pearls called him a bullshitologist. Yeah. Well, you know what? Call a spade a spade. The more he talks, the more you don't believe him, right? I mean, let's play that little part again, okay? Let's just play that little part again when Darren was talking on the live. Let's play this and just tell me how ridiculous it is. Come on, tell me I kept it up. Here it is. Let me just see where I was playing it. Let me see. Hold on. Just you guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to play the video quickly because I need to quickly run to go to the bathroom. And then I'm going to play that part of the video. Okay, so if you're in here, give it a like and a share. If you have not, make sure you guys do. But let me play this quickly. I'm not going to take down my banner. I'm just going to play the video. Whoops. It's a crime and shame. And someone had sent me this beautiful song called Come Home, Jack and Lily. And I wanted to do Belinda and I wanted to do Alana King and all you guys out there. This beautiful little video to attach to it. Thank you so much for the person who wrote the poem. Thank you for fighting for Jack and Lily's army. Please hit the like and the share. Thank you so much.
In the quiet dawn of a May morning, two little hearts went out to play. Lily's laughter, Jack's small footsteps vanished with the breaking day. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Through forest paths and endless trees, searchers called your names aloud. rose up to the clouds. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. The sun sets over Pictou County. Stars shine with gentle grace. The community holds a vigil, longing for your embrace. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for your steer. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near.
So, whoops. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for waiting for a second. And yes, just wanted to create a beautiful video, or just a, a simple video, to bring awareness to Jack and Lily to a beautiful song. So I'll put this video out tomorrow by itself. And if you guys could please like and support it and share it, if you guys could do that, it would mean a lot. Usually videos that are awareness or tribute videos, they don't get the awareness that they deserve, because most people just want to see those titles, about information about the case and stuff like that. But the whole point is it's about Jack and Lily. So if you guys could help me in supporting the family, to bring the awareness to Jack and Lily, for anyone that sees this, I want their hearts to be impacted. And I want somebody who knows or has information to be impacted by it as well. And I want them to start speaking up and telling what they know and stuff like that. Okay. Ever hear about, yes, Penny Boudreau? Yes, I have. That's the mother that basically lied about her own daughter's disappearance there, right? I remember reading that case not too long ago, to be honest with you. Yeah, so I do know it already. Thank you. Now, but thank you guys all for being here. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Daleen, on there. So, so I'm going to play this again, right? And correct. Lies are meant to confuse, obviously, right? And that's just it. And that's where it muddies the water, especially when you're trying. But you know what? Like I said, the focus here is Jack and Lily. We are Jack and Lily's army. That's what we are, guys, okay? So we're fighting for Jack and Lily, first and foremost. Daniel and Malaya come to the side of that. It's Jack and Lily. It's about the awareness and finding answers and bringing attention to the case, okay? Because that's the only way that we will get answers, okay? Or unless the RCMP comes out tomorrow, perhaps, with a big update. That would be nice, And you're right. The song is beautiful, and it might not be as beautiful to the ending that we might come to find out. We don't know. But hopefully answers will come regardless, because there's nothing more than the torture of unknowing, okay? But right now, so I'm going to play this part. And, and don't get me wrong. This isn't about, oh my goodness, I want to, say that Daniel's the guilty one, or that Malay is the guilty one over here. I'm saying that the most red flags I see are coming from Daniel, because he's out there speaking, and there's things that he's lying about for sure, right? So at the end of the day, I'm just looking at it from the outside looking in, about what Daniel and Malaya are doing, and these people that are talking and coming out. And the more that they're coming out is the more that we can start connecting those dots together to try to make better sense of the day. And that's all this channel wanted from the beginning. Meaning, when I said the beginning, is that when we were releasing messenger messages and stuff like that, or the text messages from Belinda and Daniel and Leigh and Daniel and Charmaine and stuff like that. All we wanted to do was give you guys more insight into that day so that we could keep putting the pressure on this case and so that we could keep talking about it, bringing out the information. And we wanted all other YouTubers to be able to use the information as well, use it on their channels to spread awareness, but do it with the intent of good. Again, do not need to bash the channel. Just use content, say where you got it from and put it out there, right? So, that's to me teamwork. You're not trying to be selfish and holding this information, to yourself in a sense and whatever. I've given you guys the link to Hidden in the Fog, which is the person from TikTok. Her name is Susan. Okay. So that's her channel, the one that's been talking with Logan, Cheryl, and Haley. Okay. Okay. So now I want you guys to listen to this part. Oh, yeah. Well, again, if you guys haven't seen, if anyone watching this right now hasn't seen it the other day with profiler Alexa that was on, okay, Alexa is a Truth Elders. Thank you for becoming a member, Wonder Life Alone. Thank you for doing that. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to have to do them. You guys, it's my wedding anniversary, my 10 years with my husband next Friday and that. So, but the week after that, I'm like mostly 6 to 2 shifts, I think, on there. So I just do lives as I can do them. Again, I either am working or I'm pretty much doing a live with you guys on Jack and Lily's case. My husband, he's a gamer. I just like my husband to have his relaxation time, and his is gaming. And then, so me and my husband have a very strong relationship and a very trustworthy relationship and a respectful relationship that way, right? I like to let him do his things that create his relaxation. He supports mine. And at the end of the day, like I said, our 10-year anniversary is on July 11th. And that's the same day as Alexa's children's birthday, her twins. I'm a twin myself. Alexa's birthday is on my son's birthday, January 4th. We were meant to meet. How we were. So anyways, let me share screen and we'll play this again, okay? So this is from when Darren was on the live and he was talking about the blanket and he was talking about the sweaters. Okay, so I'm going to play that. I'll make that bigger. You guys, you got to see me twice. Okay, so here we go.
There's another little tidbit I can tell you.
What?
Man, you should listen to what Daniel says about the blanket thing that got turned up on the side of the road.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that, please. Because, yeah.
That blanket, out there, they only get garbage. They only get garbage removal like something about once a week and sometimes not for 2 weeks. So the story is unconfirmed by me, but told to me by somebody who's been telling me the truth over and over and over. So the blanket thing was one of the kids' blankets, but it was pretty bad shape, so they decided to throw it in the garbage. So they got a garbage bin inside the house there, so there was some stuff in the garbage bag, and that blanket was one of the things that was stuffed in the garbage bag. So anyway, Daniel noticed after the kids were gone missing that somebody had gotten into the garbage bag and ripped the garbage bag and went to pull that blanket out of it, but the blanket was rotten, and that's why there's only a piece of blanket. That blanket ended up the road hanging from a tree, and it wasn't there for the first day. Actually, it wasn't there for the first. It never showed up, I don't believe, until the second day on the side of the road. Because don't forget, Daniel's got family that lives up the dirt road, and they travel back and forth. And they said they never saw that. They would have seen the blanket, part of the blanket, sticking in the trees like a sore thumb out there.
Right.
And then the boot print. I want to say this. Do you know who found the blanket? The blanket piece in the tree?
We just heard that it was family that took them there.
That's right. Malaya's friends and family.
Malaya's.
Do you know who found the boot print up on the pipeline?
Malaya's friends and family?
Malaya's friends and family. They all the evidence except for one little thing. That the only thing the searchers found, and I'm pretty sure now some searcher might come on here and say, "Oh, I'm full of shit," that they did find something else, but I don't think so. And there was some stuff went missing out of the trailer Daniel checked on too, and he reported this to the Mounties because what he was scared of, that somebody took this stuff, because he was sure somebody planted this evidence.
Right.
And there was some other stuff missing of his, and he was sure that he was going to that somebody was going to try to blame him to make it look like an abduction, and that he did it down the line. So he reported this to the Mounties right off the start to protect. And it was a smart move on his behalf.
Yeah.
He had 2 sweaters, a water bottle, and something else were taken out of his.
What was it about those sweaters? Because obviously when people listen to it, it was something like, well, if there's 2 sweat like that. I mean, obviously he was typing in Dolly yesterday and stuff like that, but he's mentioned something about these 2 sweaters, and it's like, well, if they're found with the kids, it almost came across like I didn't have anything to do with it. She took them with her. So what is it about those 2 sweaters?
Well, that's what he was worried about, that these people, like, they took the blanket, they took the part of the blanket out and set that up to make it look like an abduction down the road. They took the blueprint, they set the blueprint up on the pipeline to make it look like the kids were in the woods. So they were sort of splitting things up. And there was another couple little things that they found. Now the searchers were all through there, and they never found this stuff. But all of a sudden, Malaya's half-sister found most of it. Matter of fact, I believe it was Malaya's sister found everything. I think she found the half sister. I think she found the blanket hanging in the tree. She found the boot print up on the pipeline, and I mean, one boot print up by itself up on a pipeline, and I don't even think it was the right size for the kids, from what Daniel tells me. And initially, Daniel denied that was the blanket because he was panicking too. He thought, "Holy jeez, that makes it look like I abducted the kids." So I'm going to say that it wasn't the blanket. But now, see,
because
he's let.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And now he's worried about. He was worried about when he found the 2 sweaters and a water bottle, and I believe there was something else, 1 or 2 things. There was 3 or 4 items missing out of his house, right at that time, and he was sure the same people that were sort of planting this evidence were going to set that stuff up for later on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
And then he reported that the first day.
Okay.
So the Mounties had a record of that, and what he was hoping too, and I'm sure the Mounties were hoping, was that when this stuff turned up, they already knew that it was missing, so that would have probably given them a lead on who put it there. So it was a smart move on Daniel's behalf, and it made him look guilty. It made him look stupid. Like you just said, a lot of people didn't understand. He wasn't explaining it very clearly as to why what he was talking about in the 2 sweaters a few times in the water bottle.
Right.
But once you talk to him and you get it, you listen to him, and once Daniel relaxes with you, the more you're with him, the more he relaxes.
Pretty much where it went from there. So again, okay. Okay. Let me show you a screen. I'll show you 1 second here. Give me a second. Stop screen. Present share screen. Window. Come on, where are you? Gotta keep you up. Okay. So I'm on a different screen, guys, so I can't see you guys here. Well, I got 2 mouses going here. Which mouse can you guys see? Okay, so let me take myself off the screen for a second. So you guys can see where 1407, Jack and Lily, Daniel and Malaya, that's where the home is. And then the person you see that picture that's kind of in the window here, right? That is from the Hidden in the Fog, okay? And so I was sent this, right? And it had where the locations were. As Haley was talking about, she said that it was about, a mile or 2 up the road. So the child's boot prints, you guys can see that near the pipeline, the pink blanket in the trees. And then, of course, you can see Earl Martell's home right there, which is probably where Justin is staying, because obviously his relationship with his wife or whatever hit the rock bottom. So that's probably when the news reporters told Belinda that he was staying just down the road, right? Or that his home, he probably was staying at his dad's house, Earl Martell. Now, so my whole thing about this is that, let me just come back on the screen here. Okay, so my whole thing about this is, so everything that we heard Darren tell us, right? Now, again, don't shoot the messenger, Darren. He's just, obviously listening, and he's looked at the Malay Brookside, his own side of the family, and he feels like there's something up, that there's this oddness going on. Nobody's speaking, nobody's talking. Why is that? True enough, right? True enough. Why isn't her family coming out about the abduction, about anything? True. So fair enough, fair game on that. But then by the same token, Daniel here is saying, like, look, the pink blanket, he said no, right? Malaya said, was shown a picture of the pink blanket, as Haley said in her thing. And she thought that was, wasn't sure, but probably could be. Wasn't sure. Obviously, there's going to be DNA. Now, the part of the pink blanket was used for a window covering, and other part, I guess, ended up in it ended up in the garbage, and a piece of this blanket ended up in a tree. And apparently it wasn't there, and then it was there. And which Haley was saying was odd as well. And because that, kind of like what Darren was saying, I mean, the family travels up and down the road, but who knows? We'll just say who knows. But oh, hey, Ben. Hey, husband online. How are you? Don't forget to hit the like and the share for Jack and Lily, guys. So the thing is that basically Daniel lied, and he said, again, another lie from Daniel about the fact that this blanket, he said, no, it didn't belong to Lily and Jack, because, you know, they thought that it was getting planted as if they were setting him up, right? Well, obviously DNA will prove it, regardless. But yeah, so there was another lie. And then, again, he says about 2 sweaters in this bottle, and that they were taken. And remember how he was in Dolly's chat talking about it, and then he changed it to t-shirts, that he was wearing a blue one and a white one and stuff like that. And, you know, if those show up missing with the kids, then just so you know that was planted, right? Exactly. So this is what I'm talking about, is that we're only really hearing from Daniel's side, right? The Martell side, for the most part, until recently, obviously. But the thing is that we literally, you know for a fact or whatever that he's lying anyway. So he lied about the phone, about, you know, the mom coming out from the camper, right? Because he said originally, and trust me, you always want to go with the original stuff, you know, not the stuff that's said down the road, because then they have time to make excuses for certain things and to why. So when we listen to Darren there, all we hear is Daniel justifying that basically all this stuff is being planted against him, right? You know, and he came out and said, you know, Malaya's family thinks I had something to do with it. Well, did you? Did you? Because you're lying, right? You're lying. Now, apparently, allegedly, there was this argument that happened when they were in New Glasgow, right? And that argument continued on when they got home. And I'm not going to tell you what allegedly was said to me there, but just know it was an argument that supposedly got worse when they got home. And then next thing you know, regardless, next thing you know, the children are missing the next day. And Daniel claims that he had no idea that Malaya was going to call the children in that day for school, right? So we got 2 big things going on here. We got Daniel, who's speaking out, but he's inconsistent, and he's trying to portray that all this stuff, the blanket that he lied about and all that stuff, that any of this stuff that's found, you guys, that he's innocent. I was told that it was about money, and that it probably just, you know how an argument can be like this and then go like that, right? Okay. So we're just saying allegedly, because that's what I was told, by Darren. And he had mentioned it on another live, a little bit about that. But I mean, there is a few things that he has said, but I noticed that he's not saying them as much, right? anymore, because I know on the one live when I brought it up about the argument, he totally veered off in a different direction, as if it felt like he was avoiding that question. And that's, I felt like it was because now that he had basically believed in Janie and Daniel, that's where his, so now it's harder to speak when you're speaking, when you don't have, you know how it is, right, guys? When you're speaking, when you don't have any ties to anything and you're just searching for the truth. But the minute that you are, obviously, this little bit of loyalty has to come out that you feel like, and stuff like that. So here we have two things. We have lies going on and someone claiming that all this stuff is just a setup towards him. And hey, I want a polygraph, give me a drug test, right? We have Malaya's side, who's just radio silent. Now, there could be a reason for the radio silence, okay? There could be. Now, the only thing that I can think of that there could be that much of a radio silence about is because they know that Daniel did something allegedly to the children. So there is no looking for abduction. There is no, all this stuff out there. If they feel that Daniel, and they told Daniel, right? Well, according to Darren, they told Daniel, we think you did it, right? Like near the start. I don't know where is at now, but near the start, they're like, well, we think you did it. They gave him a phone, right? So this could be, you guys, that's simply the $150,000. And I'm just speculating. This could be that the $150,000 is because they need someone to come forward. They need to know where those children are. And that would be, to me, that these children are not alive from that scenario. Okay. So that's the only thing I can think myself. Can you guys think of anything else? Because that's the only thing I can think about why Malaya's family would be silent if they actually knew that Daniel had something. And the reason, for the Haley talking about drugs and maybe possibly kids did they get into drugs? Were they part of the argument? Did something happen to one of the children? Are they trying to cover something up? And then she blames Daniel. And so she, of course, bolts or what, who knows? I'm just speculating, right? I'm just trying to make sense out of some of the information that we're getting. So she knows Daniel's been doing, say, hypothetically, drugs for a couple of years. So I believe it, to be honest with you. I absolutely do believe that. And because, again, I don't think Haley wanted to specifically come on and talk about that piece, right? That was kind of her goal, to get that information. Well, you know what? Logan's saying this, but Logan's not being truthful, because do you honestly think that Logan's going to be like, you know what, Daniel, there was drugs, She's not going to be doing that. She's not going to betray her cousin like that, right? So who here is caring about Jack and Lily out of all of this? Belinda, right? Darren, I always have to say Darren with this, because I believe he's truly, even if he's getting misdirected, in his heart of hearts, he's trying to find answers for Jack and Lily. And right now he feels like Janie and Daniel are being truthful and da-da-da. Now, I'm not trying to take away from that potential theory to go along with that could be possible. But all I'm seeing in my head right now is a bunch of lies coming out from the Martell side. When I say the Martell side, I'm specifically speaking about Daniel, because Janie has never come out and spoke herself on this, but Daniel has. And Daniel has caught him as on 2 interviews specifically, when he said he's coming out of the woods and Malaya was on the phone calling 911, versus when he came out of the house and he started yelling for the kids. And that basically that's when the mom came out of the camper. So how do you have Daniel coming out of the house or out of the back door there? Malaya is outside there as well, and on her phone or whatever. Like, so how do you come out? Because remember, they both woke up out of bed. So do you understand, like, this is a big lie going on, that they're claiming that they were in bed, and that each of them then said, I tell Daniel, did you hear the kids? Daniel says, I asked Malaya, do you hear the kids? Right? They're not keeping their story straight because they're not good liars. That's the problem here. No, that's a good problem for us because they're not liars. So how are they in bed, right? At the same time, they both get up. But wait a second. All of a sudden, Daniel comes out of the house and Malaya, and Daniel starts calling, for the kids' names. And that's when Janie came out, right? So how is it that Janie could have seen Malaya at the end of the drive differently? Do you understand? This is lying. This is pure ass lying going on. They are. They are. Both of them. So during this time frame, right? Again, either they're all lying, right? Including the mother of Daniel, and they're trying to cover up what truly happened to Jack and Lily. It's plausible, okay? We're not going to sit here, and even if Darren says, and I'm sorry, Darren, because Darren has his voice and I have my voice and I have my thoughts. So even if Darren says that Janie is a stand-up person and this and that, I'm sorry. I didn't see her butt get up here, but she's supposedly doing an interview, right? So again, we'll see, right? If she's telling the truth, then so be it. Then she's telling the truth. But there's definitely this cover-up window time here about Jack and Lily. So imagine that, you guys. Just imagine that an argument ensues the day before about money, if that's true. And then all of a sudden, Lily and Jack. So here from Malaya's side, you have a controlling relationship. Daniel says, hey, the old me, I'll take you back to the waterfall. The nice Daniel, the one that isn't jealous, the one that isn't controlling, the one that's in love with you, that Daniel. Malaya, don't leave me, Malaya. Well, right? Like, at the end of the day, the children are missing. Malaya's family's blaming Daniel. And Malaya knows that, say, Daniel, hypothetically, is doing drugs, right? And so then all of a sudden, right, this Haley says, because all she has left now at this point is Meadow, right? And everything about is Meadow, right? And supposedly she had this postpartum depression, pushing Lily and Jack away. Could be true, could not be true. Either way, it could be something that Daniel's trying to, again, project, right, to us. And it might be true, might not be true. Malaya is, I would say, naive for sure. I really think that Malaya is a lost soul, somebody that definitely probably has some mental health issues. And no, I don't have a doctorate, but I'm just speaking that, she's been in abusive relationships, yeah, or, whether it's mental or physical and stuff like that. And she's just looking for that knight in shining armor. And instead she's getting, not so savory relationships, let's just say. But anyway, so Malaya, right, this whole argument ensues, people or whatever. Haley says to Malaya, look, you need to do what's right for you and Meadow, right? So it's kind of one of those things that Haley's basically saying, look, go with your mom. Go to your mom's home. You have a roof. You have someone. You have people that love and support you. Go, basically. Like, take Meadow and go. And that's pretty much exactly what she did. So Daniel's trying to portray that Cindy Murray, who's a nurse out of all things, okay? Nurses are very deep empath caring people. So what makes sense is that Cindy didn't like Daniel at all because she saw someone, because obviously Malaya is going to tell her family, they do. You start leaking it out about the relationship, about whatever, the controlling going on, you're not happy, right? Because Darren already said that, in speaking, I think, with Daniel, that Malaya was already looking to leave a couple months prior to this, right? So she leaves with Meadow and then goes radio silent. So the only thing I can think that is that they're radio silent because they believe Daniel had everything to do with Jack and Lily missing, or something happened in that home that was at the root cause of, hypothetically, Daniel. And then he, of course, is like, you guys, if there's a blanket, it wasn't there. This blanket, I lied about that blanket and saying it's not Jack and Lily's, but really it was. But I lied about that because they're setting me up. And you guys, guess what? also about this couple shirts and all that was missing from the trailer, guess what? I'm going to be right on that. And I'm going to tell the RCMP, look, if you find these clothes, just know that I'm being set up. How ridiculous does that sound to you guys? Knowing he's already lied about the phone call and his mother coming out. This is added stuff after the fact. Okay? So they're trying to add shit after the fact because now they have time to sit there and go, well, this is why I said this. This is why I did this, right? So that's how I'm thinking about this at the moment. Just trying to look at the information that's coming out, right? It doesn't make logical sense. What makes logical sense is that in all these cases, this is usually not a good outcome, and that's just fact. It doesn't make logical sense. Again, if they already know that they're just maybe trying to find where Jack and Lily are, and you guys know what I mean when I say that, they're offering a reward to say, hey, please, we're looking for these children. Now it's just a matter of recovery. Where are they? Somebody with information come forward. Here's 150, because the information isn't leading them to where Jack and Lily truly are, hypothetically, allegedly. Okay. So on, like I said, a unicorn, Skittles, and a rainbow. Yeah, great. Okay. It's a slight possibility that that part is true. Realistically, it's not. Realistically. Yeah, I don't like, I believe she is soft spoken. I honestly believe that Malaya is someone that's very naive, that she probably can't handle being out in the public and taking the scrutiny and stuff like that off of her. Yes, she doesn't come off like she's strong, to be honest with you. She doesn't. I don't see that at all. But what I see, like, again, if they already feel or know by the RCMP perhaps that they're basically targeting Daniel, right? And that he could just be one big pathological liar, right? And he very well could be, guys, one of those really covert narcissists that's just a pathological liar, right? And he's really good at portraying that. But then again, they're not going to speak out, right? If they know that the RCMP is working on building a case, right? Because he did something. We don't know the full story, but their family's not going to speak out if that's the case. That's the only way I can justify the family not speaking out. That's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts. Okay. So, and then when I'm witnessing Daniel now and Janie both, but especially Daniel, because, but Janie lives on the property too. But when I see how Daniel's acting and going to all these Facebook groups, he's trying to get your guys' approval, is how I'm seeing this. He's not coming up on this live. He's not coming up on Susan's live. He's not going on his own channel and talking about, and just saying, look, you guys, I made a mistake. I did it. He's not doing that. What he's trying to do to me is convince you guys. He's speaking out more into the public chat. Right. And but the thing is that he doesn't realize he's playing with fire by doing that. He thinks he's being smart. I think Daniel thinks he's smart. Right. That's what I think. But I think that he's playing a game with people. He's trying to get you to believe about the sweater, about the blanket. Everything's going against him. And that story makes the most sense, to be honest with you, than this hidden the children off somewhere. It's being realistic, So when you got people, usually the people coming forward making the most noise, like I said, sometimes those are the people that you look at the most, to be honest with you. That's how, like I said, I'm just trying to look at all the information and think logically, like you guys, right? You're just trying to think logically of what's the chances of hidden versus the fact that something happened to these beautiful babies. right? And they both talked about it. So that means that they're both lying, right? Okay. So whatever the reason was for Malaya lying herself in that interview, there's no justification at all, right? They're babies. Her family is blaming Daniel, right? Of something happening to those babies. Haley's talking about drugs found in the bathroom and stuff like that, right? So who knows if there's an argument where the kids got involved and, things got way out of hand and they're trying to cover that shit up, because, it's kind of like Malaya, like I said, leaves and goes radio silent. And I don't know the fine details there, but I think it just makes sense that something happened, that they both are aware of, that Malaya is aware that Daniel did something to the children that created this. The family's blaming him, for this. And he's projecting to us that, no, you guys, this is all just one big setup. The blanket and the sweaters and all that. Darren goes, well, he was smart. He went to the RCMP right away with this information, because he looks dumbass. No, you still look dumbass. You still look dumbass, Daniel. You do. So, but for the fact that Daniel won't even come up here, right? Like, I don't care about this live. I'm just talking about in general, that he won't speak out at all. And he claims that he's a truthologist and telling the truth. I got your number, Daniel. I got your number, right? I see exactly what game you're playing, and that's what's clear to me, is that he's trying to take us for fools, that we're going to believe him as he keeps bouncing around now from Facebook to Facebook, but he can't haul his ass up on somebody's live to sit there and apologize for lying or anything like that, right? He's a coward. That's what he is. He's a coward. Jamie wants to speak out, and she's being a coward too. They're all being cowards. The only person that deserves any sort of anything, first and foremost, is Belinda. She deserves all the beautiful hugs and care and love for Jack and Lily, and keeping the awareness out here, not giving a shit what messages she was sending me at all, because she knew that she had nothing to lose and everything to gain by making us understand what happened that day. The more information we're getting, the more it seems the truth is coming out. So, and then again, I do have to give kudos to Darren too. He's a pot stirrer. He's stirring the pot. His voice has been loud, right? And maybe they made a pact. Maybe they made a pact, right? Maybe they simply made a pact. We'll see. I don't see Malaya though as a strong person. I don't. I see her freaking singing like a canary to the RCMP, to be honest with you. The person who speaks first walks away, right? So if Malaya has given information in regards to Daniel, she's going to walk away, right? She will. Very nominal of charges, if anything, but she will walk away, because she might have done something undoing that interview, and she might simply have lied and all that stuff. But she will end up, if she's singing like a canary, and I bet you that she is singing like a canary. Thank you, Carol Loves. Okay, well, you know what, you guys? It's been a pleasure yet again. If you're coming into this live and you haven't hit that like and share for Jack and Lily, just, you guys, use the information that's been given to us and think about the story from the start, okay? The information that's been added on, okay, that's just a bunch of noise. People creating that. Always go to the start of the case and what was said. Go back and look at any of the lives where we've shown Daniel's texts, Malaya's texts, right? But especially what Daniel has said. Daniel clearly keeps pointing the finger at Malaya for everything that's gone, right? It's ridiculous. Like, it's so absurd to me that this is where, to me, he's like either a full-on ass pathological liar, because he has literally created a 50-50. Malaya doesn't do shit all. Malaya spends her phone. I do all this for Lily and Jack. And by that same token, the hero is right there. The hero that freaking almost got impaled, right? That almost died twice by looking for Lily and Jack. Okay? We got basically 50% of him blasting Malaya for being a shitty mother and him being the hero. And you want to tell me that this person is not got some sort of freaking pathological lying going on or some sort of freaking lying issues? Yeah, that's how I see it. He's worried about his shirts missing, right? So again, the only reason I can understand why Malaya's family's not speaking up is if they already know that Daniel hypothetically, allegedly, had something to do with the kids, and now they're just looking for where are those kids, right? Remember on the nice clean quad there, looking for those kids. The pink blanket that got tossed up there. Probably Daniel himself, to be honest with you, hypothetically, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Why did Janie have Malaya think she was gone for the night? That's a huge factor for Daniel. Yeah. Why did Janie have Malaya think she was gone for the night? Well, I mean, that's based on the fact that she wasn't supposed to be home. That's coming from the Martell side. That's coming from Daniel again. Yeah. If you hear something, you can email Sunny here. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, people. I absolutely suck at my social media and my emails. I get to them as I got time, so please don't be offended if I haven't answered an email back yet, because honestly, my energy is always about, like I have a life a little bit outside of my work and this, but emails are not my biggest forte, okay? I do emails all day long at work. So when I have to sit there and go into my emails, and some answers, they're not just easy. Some people send things and it's like, thank you so much. And then others are sending other things that require more time to them. I'm not a big paperwork person, but I'll try to get better. But don't think I'm ignoring you if it's been 2 or 3 days or 4 even. All right, guys. Well, during this live, thank you for Wonder Life Alone for becoming a member. Appreciate that. How many likes do we got this live, guys? Oh, you guys are good. 199. Oh my God. How do I keep saying it's going to be a short live and then it's 2 hours? Shut me up. Shut the front door. I love working things out. I love working through things. I love listening to other people's thoughts as well, because those things can make your mind, or watching somebody else's live can, maybe make you think of something a different way and stuff like that. I'm not here to try to change anyone's thoughts. I'm just putting out my thoughts about how I feel about the case and where I sit with it in my heart, knowing full well that Daniel or Malaya have not been charged, or nobody has been in charge with anything to do with Jack and Lily's case. It will get there. It will get there. Ben has been online. Come on, Ben. You know what, Ben? I stayed extra long for you. Okay. Let's just say that, Ben. We'll just say that. Okay. Anyways, you guys, bless. If anyone has any really pertinent information that they do wish to share, again, please email it to @crimingshame@gmail.com. Don't be mad at me if it takes a couple of days and stuff like that. Please, I do appreciate everything that comes in, because it means that you guys care so much about the case that you do want to send stuff, for me to look at, and I appreciate that. Thank you guys for hitting the like and the share. Again, I'll put the awareness tribute video out for Jack and Lily tomorrow. I ask that you please support it. Right? I really want that video to have an impact. It has the little videos of Jack and Lily in there, and Lily sticking out her tongue with Grandma Belinda there and all that. But I want it to have that impact, where it tears at people's hearts, because it does. It truly does. Thank you, guys. I've been emailing the wrong address. I know, right? Because people don't understand. Wait. No, I'm putting the A. It is A, crime and shame, right? Here, let me pull up my other thing. You look at the top here. Look at the top. This is an A, criming shame. It's a criming shame. It's a criming shame at gmail.com. Okay. So this is the typical one we use. And when we cover Canadian cases, then we use, is that the right one? No, this one. Then we use this one. Alrighty. Okay. You guys, love you guys too. Thank you. Bye, Orly. Bye, Lucid Dreams. Good night, Garnetta. Yeah, you guys have a great night. Don't forget I work tomorrow, but I'll probably be doing a live after work. Probably it would be about 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30 my time. Sorry, I can just do lives as I can do lives. And I tried to squeeze them in. And I've squeezed in a lot this weekend. Anyways, you guys take care. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye. I think I'm gonna have some more ice cream. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Bye-bye, guys.
A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand surrounded, we are not alone. Within my reverie, there's only